Good morning, Facebook. Hello, Facebook. What's up, everybody? Monday, August 2nd. Monday, August 2nd. Beautiful day out. It's supposed to be sunny all day long and 75 degrees. There's my notification that we're going live. Let's make sure we got a sound check here. Sometimes my microphone here does not work. Most times it does. Good morning, everybody tuning in. If you can hear me, just drop a comment saying I can hear you. I'm going to get to a meeting here very soon, so I'm not going to be on long here. So good morning, everybody. Just drop me a comment, #live. If you're tuning in live on the replay, #replay. Where you're tuning in from also helps. If you're catching me on YouTube, say hello as well on YouTube. Always appreciated. So Jamie and I were away a couple days last week watching Justin play baseball. We were back for the weekend, a lot of catering, busy Saturday night, got to catch up with some friends. Really an awesome weekend. Yesterday was a little slower than normal, but busier than last year. We were definitely busier than last year, about 26% busier than last year. Jamie and I run numbers all the time of we compare ourselves to last year, so we're a bit busier than last year this Sunday, which is great. Let's see. Tonight is our wine dinner. Our Spain returns, and that's 4 wines in a dish. We're doing mahi-mahi tonight with some local green beans, so we're excited about that. I don't know if I really have any seats left for the wine dinner. We might be sold out. I know we have a waiting list. Jamie was taking a waiting list yesterday. So if you're interested in the wine dinner, 647-3000. Get on the wait list, or maybe somebody had canceled. I'm not sure. But I know as of yesterday, we were on a wait list for that. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Hi, Connie. Hey, Albie. Hi, Ralph. What's going on? That's the story for tonight. And if you wanted to come in non-wine dinner, we probably only have, I know as of last night, we only had like 5 o'clock reservations available, and then probably much later, like 8:30. So if you're thinking about coming in tonight, there's my fresh grapefruit juice that Jamie just made. Excellent. Thank you, honey. So, so 5 o'clock reservations tonight, Jamie, and then maybe later?
Yeah, I would say like 8 o'clock.
5 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Folks, we are busy tonight, so Kelly's asking for oysters. Kelly, I don't have any oysters. I apologize. I wish I did have oysters. Part of the problem is when we get oysters, I kind of eat them all. I do not. Okay, I ate half of them. That's kind of the problem when we get oysters. I really get oysters for me, and whatever's left over, the guests get to eat. I love oysters. So, Kelly, I'll get oysters in very soon again. I had somebody quit unexpectedly last week in the kitchen. About a week and a half ago, and it was good that they left us. This was the same person who also opened up half the oysters and shoved them in a bucket of ice water. Wasn't following directions, and then we told him what to do. Somebody in the kitchen, the chef told him what to do, and he argued with her and said, "No, Marcus wants me to do this." And she goes, "No, Marcus doesn't want you to do that." And she was busy in the line cooking, and he decided to do his own thing anyway and shuck half the oysters and throw them in ice water. And I wasn't too happy when I saw that because he just wasn't following simple directions of what he had done previously. He had never done that before, so he ended up quitting on us. But we have somebody back who was with us a while ago who is doing very well in the kitchen. We wanted back for a while. He went and worked some other places in the Hudson Valley, got some experience, and now he's rocking it out back there. So really, really, really good. Kelly's saying, how about a seafood night? Yeah, so seafood night. So Kelly, I don't know if you saw, but like a month or so ago, we did oysters and scallops in the garden with all sparkling wines from New York. I don't know if you caught that. It was a really, really good night. I was out there shucking oysters and pan-searing off scallops. It was really, really good. How about seafood night with a linguine and white clam sauce? So linguine and white clam sauce used to be on our menu. It used to be a staple on our menu. I should probably bring it back for the summer or something. It's such a good dish. It's one of I love that kind of food. So those are great reminders, Kelly. Thank you.
Halibut on the menu now.
Halibut's on the menu. Yep, Alaskan halibut. Wild caught Alaskan halibut. It's a nice 8-ounce portion, big portion. Comes with local tomatoes, local corn. We had it for dinner last night. It's really, really good. So that is the situation with that. So, so we have not decided to do a $9.99 this week yet. I don't know what we're doing. For $9.99, Jamie, should we do like shrimp scampi maybe this week for $9.99?
Yeah.
Like the shrimp on or something like that. So, yeah, we have not done. I mean, it's just such a great time for seafood. Our soft shell crabs are back, by the way. Soft shell crabs are back. They took a huge price increase versus last year, like huge, almost doubled. So we do our soft shell crab BLT. That is back. Let's see. So 5 o'clock tonight, closed Tuesday, Wednesday, back on Thursday, live jazz on Thursday if the weather's permitting in the garden. Check that out. We get busy on Thursday nights without jazz. With jazz, we're even busier and we lose 2 tables.
Looks like there's no rain. So.
No rain as of right now, so that's good. And let's see. A lot of you asked me about the building department here in Ellenville every day. I had a couple of you ask over the course of the weekend about the building department. I'm waiting for a call back from them. You know, they come in and they kind of bully up the landlord here in my office space and crack down on him because they don't like me. And so they're just trying to get you know, it's just because of me is why they're cracking down. So they just couldn't call me back last week. And I have some questions for them because, you know, when the building department says you can't do something, just please provide me the code so we can do it correctly. Because a lot of times they're just making stuff up or really over-interpreting the code based upon that they think they have the right to do that. So one of the big issues here is that we have a propane cage right out here in the alley. This is the same propane cage that if you were to pull into a convenience store, into a gas station, they have these propane tanks out there. You swap out your propane tank and it's locked up and it's in a cage. The reason why they're in a cage, the reason why it's in a cage is that's to protect it against a car hitting it. That is to make sure they are safe and secure, that cage. It's not really for the means of locking them up because you could lock them up with a cable, right? You could just take a cable through the tops and lock them up because they all have handles on them. So it has nothing to do with really locking them up. It has to do with safety of a car hitting the propane tanks, and that cage is going to protect it. So, and you are allowed to store propane on your property, so much propane per square footage of your layout, of your blueprint, right? So the village told our landlord that I'm not allowed to have any propane back there. 0 propane. Get it out. It's a hazard. But the one thing that really struck me odd was that my propane cage sits next to my propane tanks. Really just odd. Right? Like they're within a foot of each other. They back up into each other, actually. So why is the 3 propane tanks that I have, the huge propane tanks that feed the restaurant, why is that okay? And why is the cage not okay? And here's the kicker. No cars come to the alley. No car can come back here. So it's very well protected, extremely protected. It's out of the way. And if I didn't have the cage, I would have to take the propane tanks and scatter them around. To wherever to store them. What other restaurants would do, they would just like leave them like at different miscellaneous places or build another shelf that's not protected by a cage. So I don't know. Chris is saying maybe it's too close to the building, right next to the other propane tanks. So, and some propane tanks that these cages are right up against the buildings. When you go to a convenience store, it's right up against the building in the gas stations. So things just aren't quite making sense. And I called them to get an explanation, and they don't like calling me back there. They do not. I've had a long history of them just not returning my phone calls, but they have no problems. They have no problems writing letters, making threats, doing those kind of things, showing up to take pictures. If you're showing up to take a picture, here's what should be done. The guy showed up to take a picture 2 weeks ago or last week. Showed up here, is taking pictures. Why not pull me inside? Hey, Marcus, I'm a little concerned about the clutter back here. A little concerned about this. What can you do to remedy it? I would work with you. But to take pictures and then go back and write these citations and stuff and then not answer my phone calls on top of it, like, that's just, it's ridiculous. And somebody from the village needs to step up and say to the building department here, hey, guys, come on, be decent human beings. Like, be like the town. I've had to get a couple things inspected from the town for our Airbnb and also for Courtney's house, the chickens and everything. The inspector shows up and He's like, let's solve the problem. Like, here's what the issue is. What can we do to fix it? And he's not there taking pictures and reporting back and writing citations. He comes there to fix the problem. That's what he does. They come there to fix the problem, not to sit there and bust your chops and make you have to be this bad person. And Kelly's has to do it on the building. So Kelly, we own the Aromatime building, but right next door and through the alley, through our backyard, where there's a passage through, we rent the barn back there, the garage, the barn, and the office space we rent. And so it's technically a different property, but the propane tanks literally back up to each other because they're right up to each other. So that's why he's giving me a problem with enough for the landlord. But the other propane tanks that are the big propane tanks that are literally within a foot, like they're like 6 inches away. They butt up to each other. He's not saying anything on my property, but the other property that's just a boundary line there, he's saying something. But again, I am allowed a certain amount of propane per square footage, and they just won't answer me back. So so the village, it's ridiculous how the village building department is compared to the town. My experience with a lot of people do not like the town building department as well. A lot of people complain about Robin left and right. I've not had any run-ins with Robin. I deal with Frank a lot, and Frank is does the right thing, and and works with you to solve a problem, as opposed to just busting your chops and filing complaints and citations and taking pictures. He shows up and he works on the situation to make sure that everybody's, because realistically, if Ken Bovo would have came here instead of taking pictures and told me what to do, and I could have said, well, how much propane tanks am I allowed here? Instead of you writing a citation that you have no idea what the code is, because you obviously don't, because I am allowed the propane. Instead of writing a citation, why would I have said to you, well, how much am I allowed here? Like, is it a matter of me taking half the canisters out and keeping half in, 20 instead of 36? Like, what am I allowed here? And then you can go back and look up the code and say, okay, Marcus, you're actually allowed 20 of those 5-gallon propanes, or 20 pounders. You're allowed 20 of them based upon your square footage. So just remove a couple and we're fine. That's all that would take, as opposed to filing citations, taking pictures, sending letters, making threats to the landlord, and then not answering me back when I call, to where I have to make a video about it, because then somebody has to be held accountable. Because you can go to the village all you want, and they don't hold the building department accountable for anything here. And I'm sure a lot of municipalities are like that. So not only does it not make sense, it's just bad business. It's just really terrible business. And it's wrong. It's unmoral, unethical the way the building department is here. And the building inspector is not allowed on my property because of past run-ins. He has to the code enforcer, Brian, he has to go to the police chief. Then the police chief has to come with him and video record everything, so there's no issues, because I speak up. I speak up and I speak back and say, you know what, I'm not. You need to be more specific with me. You need to be very more specific with me. And so that's the story with that. So that's going to start my Monday here, is that phone call here very soon. So, and anything else, Jamie? We're missing? Nope. All right, folks. That's it. Everybody have a really awesome day. I'm going to go out for a bike ride in a bit after my meetings this morning and my inventory. And that's it. Stay tuned, everybody, for more updates. Jamie, you'll be doing a Facebook Live today, right?
Yes.
Cocktail, you took like kind of last week off, didn't you? Or you only got one day or something in. So Jamie will be back this week, a little summer recess. then we're taking the kids. We've not had a family vacation. We have not had a family vacation in like 6 or 7 years. And the reason we have not had a family vacation in the summertime is because Justin started sports in like 7th grade. He was playing JV. Courtney had sports too. But the kids had sports. So every summer we used to take them after I finished my gig at camp, right before school, the week before school, we would take the kids away. We went to Montreal, I went to Cape Cod, I went to Puerto Rico. So we took the kids away on a regular basis. But as a family, we have not, since they started sports in school, they had to report there as early as the middle of August to school for sports. And they couldn't miss practices, or they couldn't start playing when the school season started. So I was only free until the last 2 weeks of the summer because I would run a horseback riding camp. So I was only free the last 2 weeks, and that didn't work with Justin and Courtney's sports schedules, especially Justin's sports schedules. So we stopped going away that last week. So this week, I'm not doing camp this year. Camp never opened. Unfortunately, camp had a fire. And we have a fantastic staff here right now in the kitchen, amazing staff. So my chef, Michelle, goes away for like 10 days. She leaves next week. So we're going away starting tomorrow morning, just for a really quick getaway until the end of the week. We're heading upstate, taking both kids, Courtney and Justin. So we'll be away with Courtney and Justin. We're heading up to Lake George. We've got a bunch of things planned, and so that's going to be exciting. Anybody has any ideas of fun things to do up in Lake George? I know there's a lot of stuff to do up there. We like hiking. We like hiking. We like good eating. We don't mind being out on a boat, things like that. Any other excursions? I'm sure we'll hit the outlets, do a little shopping. There's a couple restaurants we're going to stop to on the way up or the way down. So that'll be great. So it'll be great to just be away with the kids for the rest of the week. With Courtney and Justin, and just be the four of us. That has been a very, very long time since the four of us have been able to get away. So we're super excited about that. All right, that is it, folks. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon. And again, thank you, everybody, for your support. We really, really appreciate your support. Because without your support, we wouldn't be here. So talk to you later.